It's been hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and think and pretend everything's hunky dory, because it's been a struggle every single day. Wanted to quit. Wanted to crawl under my desk at work and cry. Wanted to just up and leave my family and abandon my family. Like, even at his worst, I thought about taking his life to spare him from a life of pain and suffering, because they told me he was gonna die. He got sent home in hospice at like 6 months. So he has days. He was crying for like a week straight, wasn't eating. I mean, I got pictures I could show you. He looked like a raisin, like just almost black, almost blue, because his bilirubin, his liver enzymes were through the roof. He was like toxic. When they sent him home on hospice, we took him to the church, and we said, well, if he's gonna pass away, we want to at least give him back to God and just dedicate his life to God, because that's all we could do. I mean, what can you do in that situation? You know what I mean? That's all we could do, is hold on to our faith. It's been a huge blessing having my family. My mom's a nurse. My dad's been supportive. You know, I am a single dad at this point, and mom is there at some a couple weekends a month to take them. So, but primarily the responsibility's been on me and my family, and trying to get insurance to help with medical care and nursing has been a challenge, because it's so rare that really they don't have a precedent set for it. So it's been a medical and moral and financial really nightmare. It's been really tough. You know, it's crazy, because I had a good job as a project manager, and then after the pandemic, my ex-wife went back to work for the airlines, and we didn't have anyone to watch him. My parents couldn't do it. My mom and dad are both disabled. I've got 3 disabled people in my household I'm taking care of. So it's kind of hard to expect a 68-year-old woman and a 78-year-old man to take care of a 7-year-old disabled boy when they're disabled themselves. I'm supposed to be taking care of them. So, you know, I had to quit my job because we couldn't get daycare. No daycare would touch him because of his condition and his illness. It was too severe. All the medical places had, I mean, just to get him on Social Security, Medicaid, all that was like a 20-year wait list. So that's when I started my own company, and I took him with me in the truck everywhere I went. Took him to the jobs, and I was just basically doing handyman stuff with the truck running him in there. And sometimes people would say, hey, how come you got a handicap sticker? Or why is your truck running? I'd say, I got my kid in the truck. And they'd say, oh my gosh, like, we can't have you do the job, you're fired. Or I'd have some people say, hey, bring him inside, we'll put him on the cartoon, we'll watch him. I had people bring my child into the home while I go work and trim their trees or clean up the bushes, or I gave up a salary to take care of my kid, and took the risk, and it was a lot of hard work. I mean, days where I'm out in 113-degree heat doing trees and taking care of him at the same time. I'm not looking for any handouts. I just want him taken care of. I am willing to work hard and pay for my fair share, you know. But what does Ryan get, you know? What if something happens to me? So I got to think about my work is dangerous. I get up in these widow makers, and we're talking about thousands of pounds of tree that's just ready to fall on a house, and I got to take it out, and that's how I make my money, you know, doing trees, doing landscaping.
What's a widow maker?
It's a 100-year-old plus oak tree that's been damaged in the storm. And it's in imminent danger of causing structural damage. So it's like an emergency job. That's why I try to specialize in, because the more risk, the more pay.
What kind of thoughts go through your mind when you're taking that risk for the higher pay?
Are you ready to die today? I ask that every single day. Are you ready to be today your last day? And Usually the answer is no, it's not. So that's why I just keep my head about me, keep safe, keep solid. I know that if anything happens to me, my family will be crying to the bank. You know, I'm fully insured. I'm gonna fail no matter how hard I try. I'm gonna lose my child. There's no taking that away. It's a genetic and terminal illness. So if he's gonna go and give it his all, so will I. So I mean, we're on the ride together. That's why I'm not afraid.
Tell me all about Ryan.
Well, Ryan is gonna be 7 on October 9th. His birthday was in 2018, so he's about to be 7. And he's in kindergarten. He loves school.
What type of thing is he learning at school?
So they're just working on a lot of mobility and physical therapy and kind of like cognitive skills. So trying to get him to be able to do shapes and colors and working on like just a couple of things. We have his board right here where they're trying to teach him how to say no, yes, more, hi. And so this is kind of one of the ways that they're trying to teach him how to communicate, because Ryan's nonverbal. It's hard to know what he thinks, you know what I mean, and what he's learning.
If I ask him yes or no questions, will he use it functionally?
Try.
Ryan, are you happy right now? Yes or no?
Ryan, are you happy? What you thinking about there, buddy? Yeah, I'd say he's happy. Yeah, I'd say you're happy. He loves to play games. That's his favorite thing. His favorite game is Where's the Baby? You want me to get your blankie? Yeah, let me go get your blankie. Let's show him our game with the blankie.
I'm excited to see Where's the Baby.
Oh, you want to play? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Are you ready? 3. Where is he? Oh, there he is. There's the baby. Oh, he loves his blankie. Loves his blankie. It's his favorite. We play Where's the Baby every night.
As you were going to get the blanket, he was smiling and laughing and giggling. That indicates to me that Ryan knows what's going on and he's following everybody and he's very cognitively aware.
There's some awareness there, yeah, for sure. So that's why we're starting out with this, and he's got, you know, physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy. His condition is very, very rare.
What is his condition?
It's called XP21 deletion syndrome, which means that he's missing part of his X chromosome, and it includes Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, Addison's disease, which affects the adrenal glands, adrenal hyperplasia, kinase deficiency. He's also got, you know, cognitive issues as far as communication. He's disabled. He can sit up sometimes, but he can't walk, crawl, or stand on his own. He needs help with everything. So from his daily care to potty and everything else. So he sure is a handful, but he's happy, and that's what matters the most to me, is that he's taken care of.
When did you first realize that he had this condition?
So, don't ask me how, but I convinced the OBGYN to let me deliver him in the hospital. So I got that experience to deliver him. I was there. I pulled him out, and he was discolored and kind of bluish, and he was just trembling, and he wasn't very vibrant. And so then I immediately handed him off to the doctor, and then we knew something was wrong. And then it took several weeks of having him to transfer him from hospital to hospital. We didn't have the answers to what was going on. And I had to basically say, hey, let's do genetic testing. And they said insurance doesn't cover genetic testing. So I said, fine, we'll pay out of pocket if we have to, but we want to, if you can't tell us what's wrong with him and why he's having these issues, then we want to do genetics. Well, it turns out that's when we discovered his deletion. And they say it's like I was told less than 30 documented cases in the history of the world, and it's like super rare. Most of them don't make it through in vitro. They're miscarried. But somehow he was able to develop and went full term. So he doesn't build muscle. So he's got the same muscle that he's had since he's an infant. It's all about preservation with him. So keeping him loose and not getting stiff. But as his bones grow, his organs grow, those muscles get stretched tighter and thinner to the point where something has to give. And usually it's their lungs collapse, their back breaks, or their heart just can't keep up because they don't have the heart's a muscle too. So he's got a heart condition. He takes heart medication, and that's just the Duchenne's muscular dystrophy part of it. Then with his Addison's disease, he doesn't make adrenaline, so he lacks the flight or flight response to maintain homeostasis. So for example, if I stub my toe, my heart rate goes up, I produce adrenaline, my body starts to go into a healing process. His body doesn't have that, he can't make that response. So then instead of our body producing more glucose and getting everything going, he just crashes. So it's almost like a diabetic coma, but it's like adrenal fatigue, adrenal crisis. And that can happen in a moment of minutes. So we're always kind of on the constant watching him and managing his adrenaline levels. So we have a medication that we do in the morning, and then medication that we do in the 3 times a day. And then with his kinase deficiency, and I'm not a medical expert or anything like this is just my understanding, it affects his ability to utilize fat as a fuel source. So that's why he doesn't have any fat, because his body can't store and break it down. He's missing the genetic information to do that. So he's missing the genetic information to create dystrophin, which is important to build muscle. So we're kind of having to use modern medicine to plug those gaps. So my understanding, he's actually the youngest person ever diagnosed ever in the history of the world. He's already got a world record with the fact that he was so young and diagnosed with the advancements of genetics and everything today. That's why I think he's still alive, because we caught it early on and we were able to correct that, and we've been able to manage that.
Have the medical professionals shared any type of life expectancy?
Yeah, he was sent home on hospice at 6 months. So he's already outlived that, but they said 2 years, 2.5 years. The oldest I've seen is 7.
What do you think when you see him smile?
Oh, I held him in my hands, and I was in the hospital at Dell Children's, and I thought to myself, I wouldn't let one of my dogs suffer like this. I'd put him out of his misery. Let alone to see my child with a terminal illness, and they say they have no answers, nothing that they can do, and they just shut a closed door on us at 3 o'clock in the morning, leaving us to just cry for days on end. I was at the point of just giving up because he was dying on death's door. We were told there was no hope. You're gonna lose this child. It's done. It's over. And I remember just praying, okay, God, here he is. He's yours. So tell me what you want. And he said to me, son, if you could see your child smile one more time, would all, yeah, he just said that. If you could see him smile one more time, would all this pain and suffering be worth it? And I said yes, it would be. So you asked that question, what does it make me feel when I see him smile? It reminds me of God's promise to us, and that he's in control of life and not us. And so I realized that this was either gonna make me this situation or it was gonna break me. And I decided right then I was gonna go all in. As long as my little boy's fighting to be alive and do the best he can, I wanna be able to look in the mirror and know that I'm doing the same thing. That's why I agreed to do this interview. It's because I'm not ashamed of what me and my boy have been through. I'm not ashamed to be where I'm at. I'm proud of where we're at, and he does have something to offer to people. You know, he's such a little bright beacon of joy. Everyone around him, they just smile when he's around, and he's happy.
Hey, Ryan. I'm gonna come over there and play with you. I'm happy to be here with you today, Ryan. And we have lots of cool toys. We have your favorite, the piano. Would you like to play together? Here, I'll bring it closer so you can hit it. I love playing the piano with a new friend.
Everything I do for my child I love, because I do love them. And we've gotten many more smiles, and he might go another 30 years. We'll see. I don't know. We don't know. I could die in a tree before he goes. He might outlive all of us. I mean, it's that was before, you know. It's like the anxiety and the worry of the unknown, right? But now it's just learning to live in the present moment, not having to be so concerned about what I can't control. It's out of my control. I can only control right now in the present. So that's what I try to do.
Boom! Hey, I like that you're hitting the same ones I'm hitting.
He's happy, I'm happy, and we're reaching goals. We're blessed. I mean, we're blessed. We're blessed. We're blessed. Just gotta continue to work hard.
You laughed when you said that you're blessed. Is that because you know that you've been dealt a tough hand, but also you know there's positive within it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been the silver lining of this whole thing is every day I ask myself, John, if you knew you were going to fail, no matter how hard you tried, would you be trying as hard as your little baby boy is trying? And could you be happy like he's happy? And if I can't say yes to that every single day, then I'm not living life.